Welcome to this week's edition of Mountain Outhouse News. I'm your host, Jam Jam. This is the craziest shit happened in running this week. This week's stories include your picks for the Western States 100, meltout of the Robinson Flat Outhouse, and Broken Arrow results. Merry Statesmas, y'all. Yep, that's right, it's upon us. The Western States 100 is this weekend, and it is surely going to be, once again, one of the most competitive fields in North America. Snow has been melting out, and for once, it looks like it isn't going to be a scorcher in the canyons. This could potentially lead to some fast times and a field that may mostly stay intact late into the race. Only time will tell. Who's going to take the win this year? Well, according to the annual prediction contest on iRunFar.com, which was just published, the voters picked repeat winners in Jim Walmsley and Courtney DeWalter. Both received almost identical first place votes, with over 90% of those participating choosing them for the wins. I guess we'll just see in a few days how it all plays out. If you see me out there, be sure to say hi, as I'm doing coverage for Solomon again this weekend. We'll be primarily following Ryan Sands, Lucy Bartholomew, Eliza LaPierre, Alyssa St. Laurent, and of course, Courtney. So just how much has the snow melted in the high Sierras this June? We went from a threatening snow route and a basically covered outhouse at Robinson Flat to Western States formally making a press release this week announcing there will be just a few snowy miles early on, but essentially the snow shouldn't be a huge concern this year. Speaking of Squaw, the Broken Arrow Skyrace took place this past weekend in Squaw Valley, and it was my first time attending. All in all, it was a fun weekend, and all of the snow up high made for an extra interesting year. Fixed ropes, snow glissading, and runners sharing the course with skiers made for a fun time out there, and makes me wish that the white stuff will show up each and every year. In the premier distance, the 52K, it was Megan Kimmel repeating as women's champ and snagging the $7,000 prize check. Yeah, that's almost as much as the North Face 50, which seems to get a lot of attention. Nice work, Brendan and Ethan, for making that happen. Also winning for the men was Hayden Hawks, making his first run at the race. Both Megan and Hayden ran course records, although the route was slightly shortened due to the snow conditions, so keep that in mind. Megan also noted that the snow actually might have made the course slightly faster as normal. In the accompanying 26K, which served as the World Mountain Running Association's second stop on their World Cup and a qualifier for the world team, we saw Andrew Douglas of Scotland smoke the competition. He ran 1:56, winning by 10 minutes. Ridiculous. Sam Sayi was second and first American, nabbing that world team slot. On the women's side, world OCR champ Lindsay Webster of Canada won in 2:22, with Morgan Aratola second just 2 minutes back, earning that coveted slot. Max King and Morgan were first in the Friday VK. Just a shout out to our Mountain Outhouse supporters who said hi this past weekend out at Broken Arrow. It was great to see so many of you out there. If they see this kind of snow again, Broken Arrow might just consider adding another event, a downhill only. I think Max King could do well here if judged on style points alone. Check out this descent off the top of the VK course on a really steep slope. I give him a 10. The High Lonesome 100 of Colorado is in the news this week, with a move to seek out equal gender numbers for their race, which takes place near Salida. The race itself is capped at 125 runners, which currently has 100 men and 25 women running this year. They're moving to a weighted lottery next year, meaning that you'll get more tickets likely for each year that you apply. Despite less women signing up for the race in general, they've decided to allocate entry slots to be equal by gender. I'm assuming they will either offer 124 or 126 total slots next year, with half being available to each gender in their own separate lotteries. We had a viewer reach out with this story on Brad Quinn, who took upon himself to run 111 consecutive days of trail marathon distances this spring. Brad is one of the co-directors of Tejas Trails, co-founder of the Captain Carl's Night Race series. Sounds like quite the feat. It's like 180 plus miles per week. We're not sure exactly why he did this, but we certainly applaud it. The last person standing race format has exploded in 2019, made famous by Laz and his Big's Backyard Ultra. The format, which has competitors take on a 4.167 mile loop each and every hour on the hour until only one remains, now has its own global golden ticket series with winners earning a coveted slot at the original Bigs in October. Only caveat is the winner must get to a minimum number of hours in these golden ticket races, which sounds like 32 hours or about 130 miles. At the Outrun Backyard Ultra in Canada this weekend, there was a pretty cool story where just 2 runners remained after the 27-hour mark, Kevin Barada versus Matt Shepard. Being just a few laps shy of the magic 32, Kevin was toast. He didn't want to do it anymore, but in order for Matt to qualify, he took it upon himself to grind out another 4 to 5 laps so that Matt could get his slot at the big show. Pretty neat. Final story of the week comes to us from Nick Adams. He's a longtime subscriber, and we wanted to shout out his new race in northern Wisconsin. His event is the North Country Trail Races that includes a mystery distance. That's right, it's longer than a half marathon but shorter than a full marathon, but you won't know exactly how long you're running until race day. There's a mystery distance turnaround aid station mid-race. Wow. And with that, thanks for tuning into episode 151 of Outhouse News. This show would not be possible without the support of our Patreon contributors who help with the production of this show each and every week. Join the Patreon crew at the link below for as little as $2 per month. Huge shout out to our $50 level supporters, Squirrels Nut Butter, Brian Sands, and the Twisted Fork Ultra out of Park City, Utah, as well as our $25 level supporters, Bluebird Running Company, Carrie Savage, Renee Feint, Casey Carter, and Jeff Holbrook. Appreciate you. Thanks for checking out the show, and we'll see you next time. If you have a question or feedback for the show, please leave a comment below. And finally, if you'd like to own this custom pair of Jam Jam sunglasses, complete with a signed certificate of authenticity that also helps support the show, click the link below in the description. Have a week.